Stage 10 finished with the expected bunch sprint, and Jasper Philipsen finally, at least in his eyes and his team's, finally got his stage win. But let's go back a couple of steps and see how things were playing out earlier in the day that may have then influenced how people rode the final sprint. And we'll take a look at the intermediate sprint of the day. So as we're coming up to this, we had Mathieu van der Poel on the front. He's also taking on the men for Arnaud Demar from Arkea B&B. Philipsen in the wheel of Mathieu van der Poel. Biniam Girmay already out here to the right of Philipsen. So as we roll on, watch Girmay just get himself on the right-hand side of Philipsen's wheel. So Philipsen's got his eyes up the road, and what we can't see at this point is you've got the edge of the road basically here. You can't get any further right than that, and Gaviria is already pinned. Biniam Girmay looks to have room up here, but what Jasper Philipsen is doing, one, he's looking over here at Arnaud Demar, totally oblivious to Girmay on his right-hand side, but he's also lining himself up where eventually the barriers that are set up just a very short way before the intermediate sprint point, they are set up onto the road surface. So as we roll through, he looks over his shoulder. He barely moves off his line by a centimetre, but the barriers do come out a bit. So I think Biniam Girmay from that intermediate sprint possibly carried the thought of being caught on the right-hand side through to the finish and influenced how he set himself up. But let's take a look at the lead-out, and I'd like to pay special attention to Robert Gijs. He's the man on the front for Alpecin de Koning. This is him here, Robert Gijs, onto the front before a kilometre to go. Then it's Van der Poel, Philipsen, Gaviria, Girmay, and then over down this way, guys who never got into it. Dylan Groenewegen, Arnaud Delis, Mark Cavendish caught all the way back here. They got themselves in traffic. They wouldn't see the front again. So as we roll on, Robert Gijs doing a monster job with Van der Poel in his wheel, and they're about to swing left. As they swing in, Wout van Aert is on the inside of the turn now next to Jasper Philipsen, tracking the wheel of his own teammate, which is Christophe Laporte, getting involved in the lead out as well. So as we go to the final sprint, they've already come out of the final corner, and here's the lineup. We've got Robert Gijs still on the front. That's a phenomenal lead out. More than a K to go, up to 400 metres to go. Christophe Laporte, he's in position to launch, try and lead out Wout van Aert, who in the meantime, he's got squeezed out. He's dropped all the way back here. Biniam Girmay next to him, got a lot of work to do. But in Girmay's favour, Fernando Gaviria here is about to launch long up the right-hand side, and he's going to give Gaviria the platform to get himself back towards the front. Now, before Christophe Laporte here can even launch, Mathieu van der Poel, he's underway. He's got Jasper Philipsen here in his wheel, textbook lead out. They've all hit their markers, the exact spot that they had to get each other to. So Van der Poel can go full throttle in the lead out for Jasper Philipsen. So as we roll it on, you're going to see Van der Poel, centre of the road, Gaviria out to the right, and Biniam Girmay tracking him as well. Now, let's go back to that intermediate sprint and the thought of Girmay. He got caught on the right, a bit spooked by the barriers. He has now started moving himself back into the left because he's pretty sure, and he can already see the angles, the movement of the bodies, that Jasper Philipsen's going to get himself back to this side. That right-hand side's going to shut down. So Girmay, he anticipates that, coming back to the left and trying to just sit in the wheels in the slipstream for a few moments and then gather himself for the sprint. He's then on the wheel of Pascal Ackermann. So then Philipsen, he feels the pressure from behind of Gaviria, who's now fading, gets himself across to the right-hand side, protects the barrier side, gives him one side to attack him on, but it's all too late. He had the confidence in himself today to just go. Van der Poel got him to the mark he had to get to. He then released Jasper Philipsen, who finally did an all-out sprint, didn't change his line, didn't get blocked, and he finally gets his stage win in this year's Tour de France.